Wonder what she's looking for. Come on in, look and see.
Well, hello, welcome everybody.
As you see,
we're missing somebody. So we're not sure what's going on Zach Waters' end. So we're gonna just kind of hang out here a little bit and see if he shows up. If not, we'll try to reschedule something with him on a later date. But otherwise, we're gonna sit here and talk some music related stuff here for a little bit. Maybe we could talk about our show from the other night.
Yes, indeed we could. So guys, not throwing Zach under the bus in any way, shape, or form. He's been great to interact with leading up to this point. He is in Sacramento, California, or somewhere on the West Coast. I said left coast earlier, same thing, I suppose. But with that said, they're 3 hours behind. And gosh, we've had that some snafus with that. So I'm a calendar nerd, but I understand not everybody's a calendar nerd. So yes, indeed.
So like I said, if nothing else, we'll reschedule. So,
Hop, you talked about spending some time last evening reviewing some of the content, some of ZWB work.
Yeah, I went on YouTube and watched some videos, and I liked what I heard. It was good rock and roll. I was kind of excited to talk to him, find out what inspired him to bring back I guess he calls it, bringing back the party to rock and roll is what it says on the website. And I was kind of curious to see what made him decide he wanted to do that and where all his roots were and all that stuff, because we all want to see the fun side of rock and roll again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely so.
He had done some interviews. I watched an interview that was really good with, I can't remember who it was now, but it was just like a half hour or so, I think. And it was really good.
Yeah, the little bit that I've seen, I mean, what I see the jean jacket and the Les Paul, and I hear the guitar sound, and sounds fun to me.
Yeah, he definitely has that good feel good rock and roll party kind of style of music that I don't know, I guess like that not Anthrax, the AC/DC style, feel good, just rocking, drinking, and having a good old time, and that kind of party music. So
just straightforward rock and roll.
Yep.
Now, you guys put some really cool questions together, and even without Zach to answer them, I'm going to point out one of them about and guys, we're going to reschedule. It'll be if you're watching this, whether you're live with us, sketching the recording or whatever, we'll be able to reschedule this. Again, Zach's been great to interact with. It's just likely a different coast thing, and none of us have the flexibility today to kick it back 3 hours and do it at 2:30 p.m. West Coast time. So I see the Sacramento mention, and I like the other reference to Tesla because holy moly, I can't imagine being in Sacramento and not having that as an influence.
Yeah, because when it said Sacramento, I was pretty sure that I remember Tesla come from there, and when I went and researched it, it's like, sure enough, that's where they was from. That's that useless information I carry around in my brain.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how old Zach is, but he appears to be mid-30s, probably low mid-30s, somewhere around in there. But I would assume that he knows who Tesla is, and he's in the rock business. So being from out that way, I'm sure he does. But that's definitely a good question you had there, and kind of curious to see what kind of maybe influence that maybe they had on him, if any.
Yeah. Well, we know what kind of influence Tesla's had on us.
Oh yeah.
Well, still to this day.
Oh yeah.
So, Chris, that's a strong point. I mean, even mid-30s. I remember when Hop and I saw Blacktop Mojo last year, And I was talking with Austin, and I made that comparison about hearing the difference in the style of guitar from a Chuck that's very, very technical and very clean and everything's there, to having, Malcolm with a little bit more blues. Are related to Frankie and Tommy in the early days. And Austin was, he's early 30s, and he grabbed it. He's like, hey, that's cool. We just saw them play not long ago, yada, yada.
Awesome.
And so I don't think I think the influence is certainly there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you don't know, a lot of these guys, you don't know what kind of upbringing they had as far as, access to music. Cool. I mean, definitely they had a lot more access to stuff than what we did. I mean, we had limited, availability. You had Friends, or you had the music video shows that came on the weekends or late at night or whatever. So for us, it was a little different, but mostly word of mouth because of friends and stuff. So I'm sure a lot of that still goes on today, but it's definitely with the ease of the internet definitely helps out a lot on finding new bands or even older bands that get brought forth. But
yeah, I guess what do we see if anybody's got any questions they want to ask us, or we just keep?
Yeah, I'm paying attention to comments, so I'll certainly pop them in if I see any come up. Yeah, I didn't know how much of the chat through the different questions you wanted to. We can make up answers on Zach or I'm happy, whatever. Prove me wrong, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I was doing as well, I mean, you mentioned before we went live, if he didn't end up making it on, we could chat through the show, and I just pulled up where Hop uploaded the video from Dream On. And if that's something that's of interest, by golly, we can share that one too.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I actually uploaded it, but I meant to upload yours, and it still looks like I'd already uploaded mine. And when I watched the playback when we was home, I was like, well, I still uploaded the wrong one. But I was already had, views, and I was like, I'm not going to switch it now.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, the sound's still there, so
I mean, we were standing 3 feet apart. So
yeah,
it's not like it was super different.
Yeah. Well, it was just mine.
And it's like all three of us in recording that song too.
Yeah. Yeah, Strings was better. His was really good, but he was at a different angle. See, I was just taping, but I was standing behind you, so I'm taping your screen in the band.
Oh, well, and to your point, I mean, I just clicked it over, I see my hand and in my phone. So, yeah. And let's be honest, one of us was maybe a little bit more stable than the other, Hop.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, Hop had his good shoes on. He had the stabilizing shoes on, so.
Yeah, it was a little bit more stable than the other show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, before I pull any of that into the screen, gosh, Chris, it was your first time seeing them. What was your thoughts? I'd pump them up pretty much.
Yeah, I already had, I don't want to say high expectations, but high expectations of how they were going to be. And I mean, I knew I was, I honor what y'all telling me, and y'all definitely didn't, lead it in any opposite direction either way. It was, they came, they kicked ass, and they put on a great show. I mean, sadly, it was an opening, performance. So, the time, I don't know, they probably played 30 minutes or so. So they had to pack a lot in a little bit of time. So it for what we got, it was amazing. Definitely want to go see them again, and definitely want to see them as a headlining act too.
So interesting you say that about packing a lot in. The first time I saw them, they were the headliners. The second time when Hop and I saw them, it was only 3 bands, but they were with Buck Cherry, and it seemed like they had more time then.
Yeah.
And each of those times I saw where Matt had a lot more time to engage the crowd. This time, you're right, it was really packed in. It wasn't that it was a bad show, it was just less front man opportunity, and he's a solid front man. Didn't have the time to do it.
Well, it might have been because, did have an extra band. So that's 15, 20 minutes of stuff you're losing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the right spot, and we can give anybody seeing the video a taste of where he's at with the Dream On. Is that how it goes, guys?
Maybe, maybe
well,
we'll let Matt just skip it and you just overdub your vocals over top of it.
Yeah, that's right. No. Oh, let's see if we hit it. Close.
Wow.
Yeah, still unbelievable.
So I didn't notice that echo when we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I noticed on the playback too. I never noticed it there.
I think
But
it was because we had our phones so close together.
You what?
Being that close together, making duplicate recordings.
Maybe so. I like the fact that it's just real. That bands are still can be real and play real, and that's a big thing with me right now. I don't know why I'm on that high horse, but
as Chris and I were talking with Chuck and Malcolm right at the end after Non-Point played and so on, we talked Chuck out of a pick, and Malcolm gave me the pick that he played with because he didn't have any of the little pictures. Don't get that shit started. He told me Malcolm plays with this little tiny pick, and I saw somebody share a picture of all four of them, and he said it was so because he does a lot of finger picking instead of strumming, and it's easy to move that little tiny pick up and hold it under his middle finger and do the finger picking. And I said, man, I can barely strum. He said, yeah, me too. We use click tracks. And Chuck said, God, don't get that started. Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, those guys are a lot of fun. They came out and we did the VIP thing, so they came out and talked to us. But yeah, even with us, if we weren't part of the show and anything like that, they came out after the show and interacted with anybody that came up to them. And we saw several people come up and talk to them, and they were super cool with everybody. And that makes for a better experience when you go to see a band, when you get that interaction with them, and they're, super friendly and down to earth and just as cool as anybody else you would know. And it's like, you get that music fan first kind of mentality out of those guys, and that they're there for the same reason you are, because you love music, and it just so happens that they're part of the music. So, but yeah, it just made for a great experience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been that way every time. I think I told you guys the first time that I saw them, 4 years ago now, I saw Matt going back and forth. We didn't do the VIP. I was just kind of getting familiar with him. And I said, hey, aren't you Matt? And he stopped and chatted. He'd probably still be standing there if I didn't say, hey, you got to do your thing. But appreciate it. And he took pictures and whatnot. So it was just, they're the real deal.
Yeah. And maybe that's part of that Southern hospitality, being from Texas,
Yeah, it don't hurt none.
Yeah. Texas, I'll say one thing about Texas. You've heard people say everything's bigger in Texas, okay? I was doing training there. It's been probably close to 15 years ago. And I'm doing training in this room, and you know how the air vents are in the ceiling for the AC and whatnot? Crickets were falling out of the air vents in the facility I was training in. And those crickets, you could have put a saddle on. I've never seen crickets. I bet you they were 2-inch long crickets. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
Never seen anything like it. And they're like, it just happens here. I've never seen crickets fall out of the ceiling anywhere.
It don't happen in Virginia.
It's just normal. Big crickets, not little crickets, big crickets.
The thing that amazed me was
maybe there's some. Oh yeah. beautiful landscape down there. I've been to San Antonio, and that's only been we flew into San Antonio, so I didn't get the experience like driving through the state or anything. But just even San Antonio, it was beautiful right there.
So, what other funny stories do you guys have?
Oh well, I mean, we got. I don't know if maybe some of those we should be bringing up on the show or anything. Some of them are better left to the circle of the friends in our vicinity here. But
that was involved.
Yeah.
So the one I'll share, the big takeaway from the other night is you guys got to learn what cheese curds were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chuck, being from Wisconsin, if anybody watching this saw our video with Chuck, he's the lead guitar for Blacktop Mojo. He was really proud of me for introducing you guys to cheese curds because that's Wisconsin. He's like, deep fried. Oh yeah. He said, well done, sir.
It might be the first time I've had 2 meals at Sheets in like a 4-hour time span. That was a first.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. It's all about the rock and roll. So the sacrifices were made. Yeah, sacrifices were made, and we survived. So that's all that matters. But yeah, you did. I can't say that. I enjoy Mountain Dew, regular Mountain Dew, but I knew if I drank a bunch of Mountain Dew on the way home, I would be definitely up all night. I didn't want to be up all night. I had to get up early. Yeah, exactly. But I can't do the sugar-free stuff on the Mountain Dew. I got to have the full-on sugar.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's got to be the high octane.
Yeah, I don't. There's some of the sugar-free drinks I don't mind, but as far as sodas go, though, I got to have my sugar in it. I don't know. For me, that big sugar stuff just ruins the sodas for me.
I got to have the corn syrup or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, I got to have the radiator fluid colored Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I don't know which actually works for you.
I'm sorry, Chris.
I was going to say, that's all right. I was going to say, I don't know what's actually works for you, the fake saccharin stuff or the actual high fructose corn syrup. They're both probably going to kill you one of the same ways.
Well, I know the woman at the dentist said she was amazed how good my enamel was for as much Mountain Dew as I drink. She said usually that's citrus and that stuff. She said takes a toll on your enamel, but she said you would never know it. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Kind of want to keep my teeth around.
Yeah, they work wonders for you.
Well, so you guys mentioned before, I see a couple of folks are in the view screen. If you've got questions, we're just here. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to chat with Zach today, and that's okay. But if you've got questions, pop them in. If you've got comments over on either on the Facebook or the YouTube or questions we can ask Zach when we were able to reschedule, pop that in as well because, Chris and Hoppy always put together a really good list of questions, but it's not to say we can't have some specific ones as we're leading up to these too.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
The fan interaction is awesome. I mean, if y'all got questions, it's kind of like you're doing the interview also.
Yeah. Well, and it's like we kind of focus on what they're promoting and helping them out as far as what they're pushing at the moment. So, we kind of focus more on asking questions about that kind of stuff in the current, scene of things, I guess you could say. And we kind of dive into some, influences and that kind of thing like that too. But, we don't always think everything. So if anything that's outside of the realm of what we're normally asking, definitely shoot it in the comment section and we'll add it to the list of questions.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to cover today while we're here? I'm not seeing anything pop up in comments.
Good. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, String? I'm fine with everything. There is some reactions. We do have a reaction video coming, 1 or 2 probably 2 this week. The plan is to work on a couple tonight. So y'all have that to look forward to. We got some, we did a lot of, I thought, me and String didn't talk about a whole bunch, but I thought I was pretty happy with the stuff we done at the last recording.
Yeah.
seemed to come out good.
And whenever our next recording session goes, I got at least one, and I kind of came across something new. I know we were going to try to do some bringing new stuff to the table. Each of us try to bring something new to the table. So I got one definitely, and maybe a second one. Depends on what I'll love or you have to do. But we got some cool stuff probably coming up as far as up and coming reaction stuff. And then plus you were on vacation last week, or week before last, I guess. And so that was kind of didn't stopped everything, but it kind of put things on hold for a little bit while you were enjoying your time away. So definitely getting back on track, and we'll have some new stuff up.
So we're a little over 20 minutes into the live stream of this. And if somebody stuck around this long live or in the recording, give a snippet of where you were and some of the cool stuff you got to do while you were on vacation.
Well, I actually got to hang out with Every Mother's Nightmare first night we was down there. They invited us up to watch them practice, and got an interview coming y'all's way that went really good. And he had gave me some snippets of the new music. I won't upload that. I'll respect them as far as that. But actually went down to Beale Street, and that was my last day, and got to see the place where Tortora shot walking shoes. Did a little video, and hopefully that'll come out good. And I know the other two guys, they're big fans of that song also. So that should be fun. And then got to go to the famous Graceland, the King's house.
Show me your glasses.
Oh yeah. I'll show them the new prop.
Yeah, those will be making it to the studio. So
Don't you step on Hop's blue suede shoe.
Yeah, don't step on. I got those shoes on right now. But
yeah.
And then golly, went to Sun Studio, and I tell you what, if that is the place everybody needs to go. It's almost like you can feel the magic when you walk into that place. You know, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, just knowing all the magic that happened in that place. And then, actually getting to pose with the microphone that Elvis Presley sang his first stuff on, like blue suede shoes, stuff like that. That's just like history. It's just music history. But yeah, all that was really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll give a shout out to Craig Chambers, because Craig is behind the scenes. If you look at Every Mother's Nightmare album, you're not going to see him in pictures holding an instrument, but Craig does a whole bunch of stuff. He helps with booking, he helps with their merch. But you got to catch up with you and Heather got to catch up with him and his wife for dinner too. And fantastic dude.
Yeah, he's pretty much Rick's right-hand man. And very deserving, very nice guy, very honest guy. And that's why Rick's got him around, because Rick, you got to have people you can trust.
Yeah. So, Rick, if you're watching now, Craig, if you're watching now or you see it, we appreciate you, brother. It's just, we're damn thrilled to get to know you.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm planning on, I'll step in real quick, and I'll say this. And my wife and I and my youngest son, I think we're going to head down. We're going to make our way through to Texas, but on our way down, we're going to hit Nashville, and we're going to hit Memphis. And depending on time, I think I'm going to try to, maybe if it works out, I might say something to Craig and maybe catch up with him, if maybe for a brief shaking hands or whatever, and a big thank you for what all he's done for us, and what he does for the band too. So but yeah, that's kind of on my game plan to hit. I'm working see if we can hit Sun Studios as well. I don't know if we'll hit as many places on the way through, but I definitely want to, after what you've told me about that place, I definitely want to catch up and hopefully at least see it. But yeah, and then maybe, if nothing else, maybe I don't know where Blacktop will be during that time, because this is going to be in June. So maybe they'll be around Texas, so maybe I catch up with them somewhere down in there. So we are going to kind of go through that little area where they're at. So that'd be kind of cool to bump into them down there.
That'd be cool.
So Palestine, Texas, I'm told that's about an hour or so out of Houston. And it's not far from the coast, but I think, gosh, I bet you could do it. I bet you could catch up with them. I know Matt and Kat do a good bit of acoustic stuff when they're not touring. And I also know they're spending a month or so in the studio coming up soon. So that's pretty exciting to see what's coming on the heels of
Yeah.
a quick month-long tour and so on.
Yeah.
So you guys you've done a number of different, I don't know if surveys is the right word, or polls. That's what I'm trying to say, on favorite solos, this or that kind of thing on your Hop. Is there a way to do a poll on the Facebook group where you can do some of the bands like the LA Maybe and Blacktop and Gunshine and some of the ones to see, just get a feel for the folks that watch or the folks that see other stuff, which ones they're grabbing onto the most or whatever?
I mean, we probably could. I mean, just do a poll kind of like we do, better albums and stuff like that. And see,
Yeah, we could do something like what of what the new up and coming bands that we've kind of interviewed and whatnot, like what's your favorite one, and of the ones that we've done, did you go out and purchase the album because of the interview? Maybe you didn't hear them beforehand, and that made you go out and listen to them or whatever. All that stuff's always good to kind of know whether we're kind of helping them as much as we assume that we are, or it's always that's kind of one reason we're here, is to help out the bands and introduce music to people that haven't heard them. So it definitely helps us, let us know that, hey, I didn't hear of this band until you guys. So it, that kind of information is always good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid point. That'd be really neat. So, and who knows? I've never made a poll, so I don't know how to do that in what we get out of it. But even if it's some of the extras in the comment if you've bought one of their albums or whatever it might be. But
yeah,
that would be really neat to see, because gosh, I know they appreciate it. That's the piece that we were joking around with Kat, asking, because I've seen him play guitar a good bit, some acoustic stuff, and I asked him, and I won't tell you the whole answer, but I asked him, well, gosh, I didn't realize how long have you played guitar too? And the answer he gave me said, save it for the next time I come on with an interview. So he certainly appreciated it. He's looking forward to doing it again. Nathan Gillis, I think the drummer for Blacktop, is going to come on with us soon. And we told Matt that we might let him come on, but
like, well, I told him we was going to save him for last. He didn't want to be first, so he's going to be last.
Oh, if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome. Oh, but again, well, if you guys are good, we can kill it and look for when we get something rescheduled.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll find something out. I'm assuming Wes can just say, hey, we understand that there's a little mix up beyond the times for today, and we schedule for future. So I'm sure he's a super cool guy, and there's just
I'm sure.
When you're on time zone differences, a lot of that does come at a price. So
yep. So well, I don't know that I've used it here. Last time I played the little snippet that we got from Jackal, the I Stand Alone. We've not had a reason to bring it on scene today, but I'm gonna. So Chuck did something, since we've talked about Blacktop a good bit. I'm going to play in the background the intro or whatever that Chuck did for Hop's Metal Show. I'm gonna hit that right quick.
Hey, this is Chuck Wepfer from Blacktop Mojo. You are watching and listening to Hop's Metal Show podcast. Rock on.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. That is a good place for that.
So, well, fellas, we'll end it. Get something scheduled. Hang tight. Ready and go.
Hop Metal Show.